as thorough as that, but I'll try. So we're going to be doing 2 traction splints. These splints, so those, the cardboard splints that we just demoed, those are for your hip fractures. So those are lower leg. Traction splints you're going to use for femur fractures. Because what happens when you have a femur fracture? You know? Yeah, your muscle is contracted, it's going to push it. You're basically going to be jamming the shards of bone together, which is kind of a bad thing, right? Yeah. So the point of these tractions, or these splints, is to pull that apart a little bit, so you can get to a hospital environment.
So let me be a little more technical than that with this. The only time you use this is for an isolated mid-shaft femur fracture only. So if you have a femur fracture way down here on the knee, it's not going to work the same. And what's a pelvic fracture? Not a pelvic fracture, a hip fracture. Technically, it's a femur, right? Became separated from the big ball.
Yeah.
Not going to use it for that. Not going to function the same way. It is a mid-shaft femur fracture. If you have a pit fib on top of that, or if you have any pelvic instability, don't use it. It's not going to work. Okay?
Cool. No, I'll jump in if I miss anything. So I'll start with the hair and I'll move over to the Sager. So the splint, alright, cool. So the traction splints, you're going to have the 2 kinds. You're going to have the hair and you're going to have the Sager. The hair is made because you have, it's going to have these 4 straps. So 2, when you lay the apparatus out, you're going to have 2 straps that will go on over the femur, the area of the femur. You're going to have one that goes above the side of the injury, one that goes below the side of the injury. And you're going to have 2 straps that go on the below the knee, so on the tib fib. You're going to have one directly below the knee, and the other one is going to go right about halfway down the tib fib mark. Whereas the Sager, I'm going to have 3 straps. And these straps are going to be situated out to where you're going to have one over the side of the injury, one over the knee, and one over the middle of the rest of the leg. So, I mean, yeah, so you're going to have 4 straps with this one, 3 with that. You can kind of figure it out from there. So again, when you start any station, what do you start with?
PSI scene safe.
PSI scene safe. Whenever you're going to mobilize anything, you always want to cut and cover first. Make sure it's secure. Put the device. Make sure it's secure. PMS. Attach the device, and then re-PMS. Reassess for PMS. Make sure everything's still circulating. No difference here. So which leg? Okay.
We'll do the left leg.
Okay. So left leg, we're starting. If I miss any of the minor steps and you guys catch it, go ahead and call me out on it too. BSI, scene safe, right? From there you're going to have your partner. Can I have my partner go ahead and manually stabilize both above and below the side of the injury while I cut and cover, and then kind of pull that out of the way while they're still manually stabilizing. From there, once that's being stabilized, you're going to go ahead and assess PMS. Taking the shoe off, trying to minimize movements, and you take the sock off as well.
Yeah.
Check for pulse.
Present.
Can you go ahead and move your toes for me? Tell me what side of your foot I'm touching.
Outside.
Perfect. From there, it's still being stabilized. That's a perfect opportunity for you to go ahead and check your equipment out. Equipment's going to be on the side. You're going to go ahead and make sure everything's ready to go. You're going to get your ankle strap, which will obviously go around the ankle, and that's what's going to be providing traction to the leg once the apparatus is on. You're going to be making sure the straps are all where they need to be. Again, 2 are going to go above the knee, 2 are going to go below the knee. You're going to measure these devices out. This device is going to be measured out prior to being attached to the patient, whereas the other device is going to be measured out once it's on the patient. So for this, since this is the injured knee, or the injured leg, you're going to go around the patient. You never want to go over the patient, right? You never step over the patient. You're going to go around the patient, either in front of them or behind them. And you're going to measure your device out. And you're going to do so by measuring put the device about hip level, and you're going to measure 6 inches out past the leg, past the heel of the non-affected leg. So you're going to adjust this by, there's going to be 2 little screw things. You're going to loosen it up. You're going to extend the stand. You're going to lock in place. You're going to position it. Again, the top is going to go about hip level. You're going to pull it out to about, you want the end of it about 6 inches past the heel.
Amy had a good one as well. If you have the kickstand out, then you can actually, like, the end of it.
Oh, right, okay, yeah.
The Achilles.
Okay, yeah, that works.
That works for her, too.
So the end of the kickstand, line that up with approximately about the Achilles, the non-affected leg. You're going to go ahead and tighten up your apparatus, and again, go around the patient, either in front of them or behind them.
Why are you measuring the non-affected leg first?
So,
it's the right length?
Exactly. If you're measuring the affected leg, it's already going to be compressed together.
I just wanted to make sure that...
Yeah, no, that's
The affected leg is going to be
like that.
shorter, right?
Making sure.
Good question. So from there, we're going to go ahead and go back to the affected side. And we're going to go ahead and strap on the ankle apparatus. So this apparatus is going to be strapped on to where the excess, I don't know, whatever this thing, the loop, the hitch, thank you, is going to be directly below the foot, because that's what this hook is going to be attaching onto. It's going to be attaching on like that and pulling. So you're going to attach the apparatus. You want the loop or the hook or whatever to be on top of the foot. It's going to go over the foot, and while manually stabilizing the bottom of the leg, you can go ahead and slide the strap under the ankle and strap it down. So it's going to go like that, and just gently slide it while it's trying to minimize movements of the leg, because that's a critical fail. Slide it under the leg and secure it in place. Secure it as tightly as possible.
Yeah, and you want to get that really, really tight. If it's not tight enough, once you start tugging on it, it's going to slide over the foot.
Right.
Okay, so just make sure it gets like really tight.
Alright, like so. From there, your partner is still going to be manually stabilizing the side of the injury.
Yeah, you can have two partners for this. You've got one physical partner, and then you've got an imaginary, invisible partner who's maintaining stabilization at all times.
But you gotta verbalize that.
Yes.
Exactly,
Absolutely. At all times.
Before you slide the actual apparatus under the leg, go ahead and make sure everything's in place. Make sure all the straps are where they need to be. And go ahead and loosen them up as well. Go ahead and open them up so it's ready to go.
Sometimes they'll be prepared like this.
Right,
They'll
sometimes.
be like on top.
Right.
Just
So if the leg is laying on top of it like that, I'm sure you can imagine it's going to be near impossible to take off while it's under the patient's leg. You get everything ready, make sure everything's in place. So what you're going to do is you're going to go ahead and take over your imaginary partner. So you're going to be at the end, you're going to put the device on. Once the, backtrack a little bit, once the ankle strap is on, you're going to begin slightly pulling traction until the patient feels a little less discomfort. So I just put the strap on, so I'm going to go ahead and pull on it. Or my partner's going to go ahead and
yeah,
apply.
this is your actual
pressure.
partner who's there with you, who's going to pull manual traction. Okay? So pull manual traction.
Until the patient
Feels better.
notices.
Yay!
From there, you're going to have a partner. Your partner's going to be manually stabilizing both above and below the side of the fracture. You're going to go ahead and take over that role. So I'm going to go ahead and take over stabilization for my partner. On the count of 3 with my partner at the ankle, I'm going to go ahead and instruct you to slightly raise the ankle about 6 inches or so. When my partner lifts up on the ankle, you want to support both above and below the side of the injury until you can slide the traction device under. So on the count of 3, we're going to go ahead and lift up about 6 inches on your end.
Right, ready?
3, 2, 1. I'm going to go ahead and support that and slide this under. Alright, so go ahead and lower the device down on my one. 3, 2, 1. I'm going to lower that down. So in this place, again, you had already made sure the straps are in the right position, so it's as easy as just strapping everything up. Before you do that, you're going to go ahead and secure the ankle strap as well as the ischial strap. So you're going to go ahead and...
And a little comment about when you lower the leg down on, I don't stop pulling traction. Okay, I'm still pulling manual traction. So if you want to go ahead and verbalize that, go ahead and lower the leg, but don't let go of manual traction. Okay, just let us know that you know what you're doing. Okay?
And always verbalize everything.
Right.
So while she's still maintaining the traction at the ankle, I'm going to go ahead and secure the ischial strap. You're going to do so by sliding it out under and as high up on the ischial bone as possible.
And why are we securing the ischial strap first, as opposed to the ankle strap?
I thought you were asking
It's the opposite side of what you're pulling. It's the opposite side of what you're pulling, so.
There you go, because it's the anchor, right? You have to have something to pull against once you put mechanical traction on. Okay. I love that you thought that I was actually asking.
Yeah, I was like, really?
Hey, Ollie, why are we doing
That
this?
is a great question. So from there, you're going to go ahead and secure it as high as possible, and you're going to be using the push-pull maneuver. So you're going to be pushing from the bottom, pulling on the top. You want to get it as tight as possible. Slide that in. So from there, you're going to go ahead and hook up the ankle strap. There's a little a locking,
You guys see that?
little release.
Yeah,
Yeah, you guys
Little one
definitely play around with your device as well. So there's going to be a little release.
when this is in here,
Right.
then you pull it to release it. Okay?
So when that's released all the way out, you're going to go ahead and hook the ankle strap.
And I'm still not letting go.
Right.
Traction.
So from there, make sure it doesn't get tangled up. So while she's still maintaining traction, you're going to go ahead and apply traction from the device until the two pressures are about equal. So the pressure of the device is equal to the pressure of her pulling on the ankle.
So this is where he and I need to communicate. So you need to tell me when you feel like this is equalized to whatever the amount of pressure, the amount of traction you're pulling, let me know. Because then he knows that he's pulling enough. Okay?
But she just did it for me. So we're going to go ahead and apply traction. So I'm going to start pulling traction when it's about equal to the amount that you're pulling on. Go ahead and let me know when to stop.
Okie dokie.
And again, you're still having a partner manually stabilize that, your ghost partner, right? You don't just leave that side of the injury unattended.
Okay, we're right about that.
All right, perfect. So you can go ahead and let go. So now there's traction on the ankle, right? You don't need a partner manually doing that anymore because now you have the device. Once that's going on, you can go ahead and secure the straps. Again, a strap is going to go both above and below the side of the injury, below the knee, and directly in the middle of the tib line of the shin. Again, push-pull.
One thing on someone my height that might be easier is if you can angle these straps up and make sure that you're clearing the injury so that if it doesn't end up sliding or moving, so that when your proctors look at it, they're like, oh, okay, I can see that they actually are making sure that's staying above.
Feeling for the knee. All right, so once the patient has secured the device, what's the next step? Thank you. Reassessing for PMS. Present. Can you go wiggle your toes for me? Tell me inside your foot I'm touching.
Inside?
All right. So from there, you're going to go ahead and transport the patient. I'm pretty sure your sheet says you transport them onto a longboard and then you secure them down. Once they're secured to any sort of device, what's the next step? PMS. Yeah, so transport them onto a longboard, secure them to the longboard, reassess for PMS, prepare them for transport. And that's it. This is a 10-minute station. If you zip through it enough, it shouldn't be a problem. I didn't think they were that bad. Honestly, those are easier to mess up than these are, I feel.